Living in the Past is a Turtle, Mysteries of Azeroth, and Everlook Broadcasting production. This is Living in the Past, your Everlook Broadcasting Company weekly show about all things Turtle, Mysteries of Azeroth. Today is Friday, March 8th, 2024, and I'm Dan, your host for the next hour. Happy Friday once again, everyone. I'm going to be a little low-key. My voice is a little rough right now. Fully over the COVID from a couple weeks ago, but hit a little bit of a rebound this week, and with the new job that I picked up a couple of weeks ago, I've been using my voice a little bit more, so while I'm good right now, expect things to deteriorate just a little bit tonight. We're going to take it easy, but we do have the guild shoutouts, which I'm so excited for at the end of the show. That's going to be the last maybe like 15 minutes or so. So, if you posted in the guild recruitment channels on Discord over the past, I'm going to say 5 days or so, look forward to possibly hearing your guild get shout out here on the broadcast. Again, we're going to aim to do this about every month and a half or so. I don't want to do it every 3 weeks, just because that feels like a lot. So we're going to aim for mostly every month and a half, every 2 months. Last time we did it was at the end of January, and this feels like the right time for round 2. Expect the next one to be towards the end of April. I think that's a pretty good time frame for it. Now, with that being said, we have so much else to talk about today. We have patch notes. We have personal news for myself, some fun in-person events going on. We do have our music for today, and we have a nice, solid update for a show called A Look Under the Shell coming up next week. Look forward to that, because we're going to be starting out with a very detailed conversation between myself, Vrograg, and Akalix. And we really lay down the basis for what's going to be a monthly podcast that I'm very excited for. With that being said, though, let's go ahead and get into the nitty-gritty. The first thing I actually want to talk about, and I'm kind of going in reverse order here, because with the guild shoutouts being at the end of the show, I don't have my normal time for personal updates and news. So we're going to be starting out with that. For those that don't know, hi, I'm in Boston. And one of my favorite events every year is PAX East here in Boston, Massachusetts. I'm not sure if any of you are going to be coming out to it, but if you are attending PAX East, let me know. Feel free to hit me up in my DMs on Discord. I'm Dan. I'm right there towards the top of the listing on the Turtle Discord. Let me know you're coming out here. We do have a lot of awesome events that are happening for PAX East as well. I'm going to reference a website called SideQuesting, which has nothing to do with WoW in any way, shape, or form, but it does do these wonderful party lists. And Dolly, the gentleman who runs it, is actually now a friend of mine now that I've gotten to meet him at a few events, which is very nice. Let's go ahead and just highlight a few of them really, really fast here. For Thursday, March 21st, and by the way, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, starting on March 21st, are the dates for PAX East this year. And tickets are still available, by the way, as far as I know. I actually just picked up mine a week or so ago for Thursday and Friday. You don't need convention tickets, by the way, to attend parties. They're all outside the convention center. So even if you're just coming into Boston for the parties, the 21st, 22nd, 23rd, and 24th, it's worth it. So anywho, first, the Thursday night parties, Dare Drop is having a 6 p.m. event. There is also the Poke Crawl. This is the 15th annual Poke Crawl happening for PAX East. It happens with both PAXs now. PAX West and PAX East. I will never call it PAX Prime. It is PAX West. And they do all of this poker crawling for charity. It's a bar crawl. You buy good drinks, and you do it for charity. It's wonderful. Also, gamer trivia, LGBTQ plus trivia over at the Alley Bar that night. Wonderful fun, a great spot too, and very, very good, strong, cheap drinks. Delightful spot. Also, Side Questing, the website I'm reading this from, has an event. Their quadruple A PAX experience. I say with the most tongue-in-cheek motions ever. They're going to be at Howl at the Moon. I will probably be at that one. SideQuest always throws really good parties, and Howl at the Moon is a wonderful spot to be. Friday, the Red Bull Arcade is going on. That goes on all day. We do have our Twitch Boston PAX East party at 8 p.m. at D's Keys. Actually, that's not at D's Keys. That's at Candy Bar for that night. I need to make sure he updates that. But that's actually one that I'm helping organize. So if you're in for PAX East and you want to come out to the Twitch Boston party, I believe tickets might be sold out for that one, but reach out. We can always see if we have an extra or two that we can squeeze out. At the same time, on Friday, Sonic Boombox and Voodoo Ranger are doing a kickoff party. That's at Spin. And then moving on to Saturday, there is a gamer after party over at the Alley Bar once again. LGBTQ plus is welcomed and happy to have them. They're also, I believe, going to be doing trivia that night as well. There also is going to be a Twitch Boston networking party over at D's Keys at 8 p.m. on Saturday. And Sonic Boombox and Voodoo Ranger are doing another after party that night at 8 p.m. as well. There are events going on for Sunday, but none of them are registered here on this website that I'm using. And I don't remember them off the top of my head, for better or worse. So apologies for that. I don't actually know of a ton of parties happening Sunday. Sunday was kind of quiet this year, if I remember right. So maybe we get to use that as a cool down day for PAX East. PAX East is traditionally very intense. So we'll see how well that goes. But that's the different events going on for PAX East. Again, if you're coming out the weekend of the 21st through the 24th, please let me know. I would love to meet up with any fans of Turtle WoW or Vanilla Warcraft in general here. There are always wonderful spots out in Seaport to grab a drink too. So please let me know if you're coming out for that. With that being said, we need to go ahead and talk about the music for today. We're being nerdy today. We're going to be as nerdy as we can. So I really tried to pick out some fun, nerdy tracks for us to enjoy. Our first break here is going to be Dungeons & Dragons, Ghostbusters, and the Red Alert theme, but a fun cover of the Red Alert theme. Red Alert 3 theme, rather. This isn't Hell March. This is the Red Alert 3 theme. And then our second break, Tearing Up the Night and Power of the Horde, both from Level X Elite Tauren Chieftain. And then from Thoriana and Jambo Jin, we're going to be doing Curse of the Burning Crusade. Because, as we all know, Turtle WoW 2.0 is not the Burning Crusade. To be clear, it is not the Burning Crusade. That actually, I have forgotten something. I've forgotten something that I also wanted to talk about, which was patch notes. I can't believe I forgot patch notes. So before we get to that break, we're going to extend this segment here a bit longer, and we're going to talk about patch notes. In the March 6th patch notes, we have some doozies, if you will. And I'm excited for one of them, but actually most raiders are going to be excited for another one of these. So, we're going to start out by talking about Grobulus. For those that have raided Naxxramas, you will know that after Grobulus, you have to sit on that pipe for probably about 3 to 4 minutes. 3 to 4, just about. Because up until now, or up until this week rather, Grobulus's poison clouds if anyone touched them, and someone always touches them, it's a natural part of the encounter. People get hit by them constantly. It will keep you in combat for literal days. Actual days of time. That is no longer the case. Grobulus's Poison Cloud will no longer keep people in combat. And everyone who raids Naxxramas right now is saying, thank God, because of the amount of time wasted by sitting around after Grobulus. So, great news for that. Thank goodness. The other effect, there's some really good patch notes here. The one that I'm really excited for is the chance on hit effects change. So, before this patch, whenever a rogue poison, a shaman weapon enchant, or anything else procced off of you as a melee, you would do your casting animation. And if you're like me, and you have the poison vial from Karazhan still, you would do this casting animation constantly. And my goblin looks like he's throwing pocket sand at mobs. Not smacking them, just constant pocket sand. It's ridiculous. That is no longer going to happen. That has been removed from the animation cycle. So you will never unsheath your weapon and perform a casting animation when one of your weapon effects procs. Thank goodness. I'm legitimately excited for that, because my goblin is going to be running around looking like he is just throwing something in mobs' faces constantly. I could have just unequipped the vial, but it's okay. It's okay damage. It's something. I actually don't know how potent that dot is that it throws, but it's better than any other trinket I have right now. So why not? There are other notes here too. I think the big one is actually apparently the Father Flame event in Ubers has been reworked, and it doesn't say anything else. So if you've been in Ubers since the patch is launched, I'm very curious as to how they changed Father Flame. I'm very curious about that. There are also a lot of mage changes. There were a couple of big changes to Ignite in this. So if you're a mage especially, I would strongly recommend you go ahead and look through these patch notes. Now, we'll go ahead and get to our first break, even though I tried to jump the gun there. First break time. We're doing nerdy music, and as I mentioned, this break is going to be the Dungeons & Dragons bit from Dr. Demento way back in the day, the Ghostbusters theme, and a cover of the Red Alert 3 theme. So when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about Under the Shell, a look under the shell, coming up next Tuesday. An hour-long podcast with myself, Vrograg, and Akalix, and what will be a rotating set of cast members, I will say, from both the community and the dev team. We'll be right back with more Living in the Past coming up right after this. The musical tracks for this episode have been removed due to YouTube copyright. To listen to the full episodes with music, tune in to Everlook Broadcasting every Friday with the in-game radio widget. Welcome back to Living in the Past with myself, Dan, for our second segment of the broadcast here. This will be a shorter segment because I went a little long with the previous one. But I did want to take some time to talk about the new podcast we have coming out. It's going to be a monthly podcast. It's not going to be done every week like this show is. It's going to be done once a month. And it's going to be primarily hosted by myself, Akalix, and Vrograg. Akalix and Vrograg are going to be the more vocal of the two on the show. I'm more there for structure. And you're going to hear this in our first episode coming out on Tuesday. I'm aiming for a Tuesday afternoon, about 5 p.m. Eastern time slot for it. The show is recorded. I just have a little bit of editing work I need to do for it still. But otherwise, it is ready to go. It's in the can, so to speak. Now, we talk about quite a bit of more of the basics for what the broadcast is. We talk about the structure. We talk about what we want to see out of it. And that's a majority of the actual conversation itself that goes on during it. However, for those looking for some more of those meaty tidbits, more of those juicy comments, I do poke the bear a little bit with both Akalix and Vrograg, as hesitant as Vrograg ends up being, on the class change council that has been hard at discussion with changes and updates. Now, I will stipulate that no one says any changes that are coming. However, we get a lot of really good context with what's going on. And we end up talking a little bit about Vrograg's chat numbers that he published the other week, as well as kind of a temp check for where things are, which it was really exciting to hear more about kind of the direction things are heading and a little more of the structure of what's going on. I don't think they spill any major news in it, as far as I'm concerned, at least. But it's a very nice piece of insight. I'd say the last 20 minutes of the broadcast are about the Class Change Council, and it really is some red meat that we get to chew on. So I'm very excited for that. But that's going to be 5 p.m. Tuesday, live here on Everlook Broadcasting. And then as soon as it's ready to go, it will be up on the YouTube page. So go ahead and look forward to that. And that's going to be a look under the shell. I still need to record the intro for that. For better or worse, I picked up another side job the other week, and time has not been my friend, so it will be done. Look forward to that again coming up on Tuesday, and be here live for it too. Absolutely be here live for it. It's going to be a ton of fun. With that being said, though, we need to move on. This is the shortest segment I've ever done. It's going to be about 4 minutes long. We need to go ahead and get to our second break. It's going to be Tearing Up the Night and Power of the Horde for level insert number here, Tauren Chieftain. And then Curse of the Burning Crusade from Thoriana and Jambojin. In our next and final segment, it's going to be a long one. It's going to be a doozy. We're going to be doing those guild shoutouts. So, if you're looking forward to hearing your guild shoutout, make sure you post it in the last 5 days or so. Because I only took guild notifications from the last 5 days or so. And it has to be in Discord. The next one will be towards the end of April. So if you didn't get in on this one, try to get in on the next one. Make sure you're posting regularly in those channels to support your guild activities. We'll be right back. Our final segment and those guild shoutouts coming up right after this on Living in the Past. The musical tracks for this episode have been removed due to YouTube copyright. To listen to the full episodes with music, tune in to Everlook Broadcasting every Friday with the in-game radio widget. Welcome back to our final segment of Living in the Past here with myself, Dan. It's Guild Shoutouts time. So sit back, relax. This is going to be a long one. I have, I think, 4 pages of guild shout. Yeah, about 4.5 pages of guild shoutouts to go through. Again, listen for your guild. If you do hear your guild being shouted out, cheer out in World Chat, specifically if you're on Nordinar. But certainly don't be afraid to chat over on Telebeam as well. I did pull a few Telebeam guilds as well that I've posted recently. So, and with that being said, let's get started. Weird Vibes is a North America late-night progression rating guild, currently 15 of 15 on Nax, that's looking for more gamers. Experienced leadership sets the stage for a friendly, fun, but serious raid environment. Come join fast clears, good times, and great loot. Come experience Naxxramas progression. Their ideal raider will communicate, be consistent, passionate, and have a basic understanding of their class, as well as being willing to learn. Knowledgeable leadership will help along the way. They expect their core to show up on time, consumed up, and with their best in slot or equivalent ready to slay monsters. They're currently looking for a priest, holier discipline, a mage, a fury warrior, and a shaman who's resto. The Stormwind Opportunity League is a casual progression guild with a plan to progress through all raiding content Turtle WoW has to offer. They're currently farming AQ40, BWL, Emerald Sanctum, and Molten Core, and fleshing out their roster and gearing up for Naxx this weekend. All classes and specializations are welcome, from mage healers to priest tanks. Everyone has the opportunity to play the game however they enjoy. If you want to take part in their fun, focused raiding community, reach out to anyone in-game or PM Bernhard on Discord for an invite. They're currently lacking shamans, healers, and warriors. Golden Moon wants you. Come and join a very close-knit community that puts the team before themselves. They value good vibes and fellowship, working as a team to keep their raid cruising, using their unique science methods, focus on the team, and their weapons being enchanted with the power of friendship. They have progressed at lightning speed. Their primary raid times are 1800 server time every weekday, though they also welcome North America time zone folks, as they would love to see an expanded North America team as well. Nomads, an EU-based raiding guild, they're currently looking for loyal and reliable players to raid with and be part of their progression team on Turtle WoW. There are no gear or level requirements to join, just a fun person who may be interested in joining their raiding journey. They believe in rewarding people for their efforts and being loyal to the guild, because wiping on progression takes dedication, and being able to listen to your raid leader is important. They value this more than someone who is super geared, and are willing to accept them who have poor gear. However, what you do when you join the guild speaks volumes to them on your dedication, such as getting your attunements, farming specific gear like nature resistance. Raven is a newly formed raiding guild and is looking for raiders. They guarantee a transparent loot system, a well-organized guild structure, and a respectful environment. This guild is mainly for players who wish to laugh and have fun while clearing PvE content smoother than last week. They currently raid Thursdays, Sundays, and Tuesday evenings, and are in Molten Core and BWL. They're currently looking for 1 or 2 shamans and a boomkin. Squad is a North American raiding guild that puts a focus on real life and fun. Together they've gone from ZG Pugs to progression into Naxx and beyond. From their mountain fortress in Feralis, they quest and raid all over Azeroth. Squad encourages a semi-casual raid environment, attendance for every raid is not required, and they're alt-friendly as well. Squad is a DKP-based guild that raids Molten Core, Blackwing Lair, AQ40, and Naxx, and has plans to run Upper Karazhan as soon as it launches. They're currently looking for additional healers and mages for their Naxx clears. AFK 5 Minutes is looking for additional Shadow Priests, Shamans, Boomkin, Warlocks, and Healers for completing their Naxx progression. They're currently 12 of 15 on bosses in Naxx, and have all the other content on farm, including Emerald Sanctum hard mode. Currently, they raid daily at 6 p.m. Eastern or 11 p.m. server time. Sincerity First is a small guild looking to welcome like-minded people, sincerely wishing to savor a more wholesome and journey-oriented experience of the game. Currently, they raid Wednesdays, Saturdays, and Sundays at Eurocentric times. Being process-oriented, their focus is not on progression or gearing up quickly, but rather on sharing quality hours of dynamic playtime together each week through nostalgic dungeons like Zul'Gurub, Molten Core, and Onyxia. They focus on not rushing between bosses, not using logs or meters, and having an RP-friendly environment. They're working right now on a slow gear-up process for BWL here in the near future, and are looking for mages, shamans, and holy paladins. Thunder Ale Brewing Company is an EU-based raiding guild and the oldest guild on the server, with server firsts in all categories and currently have all content on farm. They run an SR, MS, off-spec loot system for most raids, but Naxx's run off a fair, transparent loot council system. While they're looking for any class and spec who are going to raid regularly and contribute to the group, for their Naxx clears, they're interested in 1 or 2 good mages, a pair of shamans, and a hunter. They have 15 plus spots in BWL and AQ40 raids for new players to start getting gear right away, and get decent enough gear to join the Naxx team. With their loot system, new recruits can get 5 to 10 items per raid and go from 0 to hero in the span of a week. Calling all nerds of all varieties. Are you slightly goofy, a little off? Are you a nerd? Find your flock in Nerds of a Feather, a casual, all-inclusive, non-toxic guild of goofballs, freaks, and geeks who just want a fun way to get together and kill some stuff. Nerds of a Feather currently clears Molten Core, Zul'Gurub, AQ20, BWL, and AQ40 regularly, with progression raids on Naxxramas ongoing. Nerds is a great place for returning gamers, nerds new to Turtle WoW, first-time raiders, hardcore tunes, nerds leveling at all levels, and just about everybody else. Their philosophy is to play what you want to play. It's your game to enjoy. Just one rule, no jerks allowed. Now for some Telebeam guilds. Korkron Enforcers is a Horde PvP guild that's recruiting English-speaking world PvPers. They do all types of PvP and world PvP, and host some raids. Join the most active world PvP guild on the server. Toa is a Horde PvP PvE guild focused on PvE, but they don't shy away from PvP encounters. Their core members are vanilla veterans, having conquered all baseline vanilla content, and have been active on Turtle WoW since Telebeam's launch. MC, Ani, Karazhan, ZG, Emerald Sanctum Normal Mode, and BWL are all fully cleared. They currently raid Saturdays, Sundays, and Wednesdays at 1800 server time, and take a quality over quantity approach to recruitment with an emphasis on camaraderie and teamwork. Desperate House Guys is an alliance raid guild and fun focus group seeking raiders for our Tuesday and Thursday raids. Currently, they're considering all classes for recruitment. Their core roster consists of experienced and returning players from all over the globe willing to assist members to get raid ready to continue easy raid clears. They will be clearing Blackwing Lair, Molten Core, Onyxia, Emerald Sanctum, Zul'Gurub, and world bosses weekly. Their loot system allows new players attractive options to get geared, and if participating consistently, they will get the best items that they seek. There we go. That's the guild shoutouts. Only took about 10 minutes, which I'm very proud of. There was a little bit of a slip up one there. I let 1 hour come through, but that's okay. I'm gonna leave it in there. I do make the mistakes on the regular occasion. I don't edit out all of them. With that being said, though, if you did not hear your guild, I didn't get to fit in all of them. There were a couple who were repeats and whatnot, so I tried to spread the love out as much as possible. Next time we do this is going to be towards the end of April, so make sure you're posting regularly in the Discord with your guild shoutouts. Even if you're a fresh new guild, all you have to do to get access to that is ask in the support channel, and you'll be given clearance to post about your guild in Discord. So make sure you're doing that. Ask for the ability to post in there, and start posting regularly with your guild shoutouts. You might hear it on the show here. You might get some new people joining in. It's all in good fun, and we love to see new folks popping up on the server like that. With that being said, though, thank you for taking the time to join me today. Our nostalgia continues even though today's broadcast is at an end, and I hope you enjoyed the show here today. A huge thank you to the Turtle developers, moderators, staff, and volunteers. Without the entire team's hard work and dedication, we wouldn't have this station or server group. An additional thank you to the audio engineers and creators here for the use of their soundtracks they've created, which we use for segment transitions and intro audio. If you'd like to find out more about what I do, I invite you to check out my YouTube channel at youtube.com/@thedannation and my series